Well, here we are at video number 10 in the series on customization of a knockoff or fake Suzuki Sirus 14-holer. And I want to share, this is on lapping a mouthpiece into the comb, which is a very eclectic repair. You don't see it often. I don't know if anybody else does it in the world. I do it, but I'll explain it to you. Here's what's going on. This is the customized comb that was flattened. And of course this is the mouthpiece. And what do you do when you're in a situation where when you put the mouthpiece on and then you put the slide in, what if the gap between the slide, and the mouthpiece and the comb, if there's just too much space there, that's air loss, so you have to air tighten it. Very, very important to have an airtight harp. Well, what do you do when you're in a situation where there's just too much room for the slide? Now, I know that this was the case on this harp because when it was sent to me, somebody had applied Vaseline petroleum jelly to the underside, which is always a tip-off that they've got airtightness problems and not really a proper repair. To my view. What do you do? Well, you could machine a new slide that's thicker. You're not going to do that. Or you get these two parts closer. That's doable. It's not easy, but it's doable. How would you do it? Well, if you had a lapping compound, i.e. Colgate toothpaste, calcium diphosphate, only the regular, and you put it on the underside of the mouthpiece and you went back and forth like this properly, with weighting it properly, you could bring it down 2 to 4 10,000ths of an inch pretty easily, and that would be enough to tighten up the fit on the slide, and that's what we're going to do. It's called lapping, and so I'm going to show you basically how this is done. And I'm not going to wear gloves on this repair because it's very fine handwork and I really need to be able to feel my hands carefully to do it. The trick, of course, is you have to take down the comb evenly across its whole length. And there are two strategies to do that. One of them would be to work only like the back end of this mouthpiece, to use that as the smoothing area, because this part right here of the mouthpiece doesn't really touch the, doesn't affect the air tightness up in here. You could do that, or you could kind of go all the way along. I think now that I think about it, I would rather kind of take it along the whole length, even though it does have a slight curvature, which means I'll have to be very careful as I work each area to push from all the different sectors down so it takes it all down evenly. So the first step in this process is you take the toothpaste, and I'm going to come down now and put the camera angle something where hopefully you can see everything I'm doing pretty well. Step number one is I take some of this toothpaste, and put it on my finger, and then the right way to do this is you apply it directly to the comb surface, this side right here like this, and then I come over, and I find that the easiest way to do it is just kind of like this, where I just kind of dap it with my finger. Okay, that goes like that. And then to hold the mouthpiece, you have to use wet paper towel. I think you can see what I'm doing. I hope you can see it. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this mouthpiece and properly fit it over the comb, okay? And then I'm going to work this sector, sector 2, sector 3, sector 4, sector 5, and to come here, 6, and I'm here at the back end, 7. And you take this and give it a straight run across. Now, you'd be surprised how little it takes to do this. So I'm going to wash it now and just take that all off. with a toothbrush and come in and get it off the mouthpiece just to test. How am I doing? So I'm going to take this and put this like this, and let's see how the slide is doing now. Well, it's better. It is a little tighter in there, but I still have some to go. So we'll repeat the whole process now with, this is the lapping compound. I'm running it all along here like this. Coming over here, I'll get some more toothpaste. No sense being stingy on that. I'm going to come here and have that nice lapping compound. Believe it or not, this is a little harder than it looks because you do have to apply even pressure and make sure everything's lined up properly. So I come here, I'm working that, and then come up a little bit, work it there. I'm going to come here, work it here. I think you can see me. I hope you can. Try and make sure you got a good angle here. I'll work this sector so that the whole mouthpiece is going to seat down into this comb properly. And I'm going to come back now. I'm coming to here. I'm going to give it another coating of goop here. Putting it here and here and here. On the other hand, this other side as well. I'm going to come here and make sure that they're mated up properly. I'm going to spin it around now, changing orientation. And I'm ready to go. And one. Yep, you can see, I can see it's doing a thing. It's doing what it needs to do. You will not see this done very much, but it is a great way to increase the quality of the fit of the parts. The hard part is you've got to get all this residue off, and that is not easy to do cleaning-wise. And I can feel it is taking it off. Now I'll wash it again, because you have to test. You know, how are you doing? Are they getting closer? I want all that off that one surface. I come here. I put this on like this. I take the slide and put it in. Ooh. Ooh, it's close. It's close to being correct. Very, very close now. But I can take it down just a hair further. You know, you want to go slow because you can always take more. But you can't put it back when you take it off. In order to, if I took off too much, then I'd have to thin down the slide, right? Which I could do. I mean, this is part of the world of workmanship. Now, I'm going to flip this back up this way again. You'll see that I change my orientation each time. What's up on top? I've got this seated properly and I'm ready. And this is probably my last run here. Again, this method makes sure that it takes it down equally all the way across. That means I have to have equal pressure in each sector of the mouthpiece. As I take it down into the comb and I seat this mouthpiece right into that plastic. Okay. Washing it off. Washed off. I only care about the top surfaces right now. I don't have to get the thing completely clean. I have this and this and this. I'm going to go ahead now. Take this and this. I'm ready for my test. Come here. Oh, that's just what I wanted. Just the tiniest amount of friction. Just the tiniest amount of friction. And I think that's perfect. Thus completes lapping of a mouthpiece bottom into the comb. And I may be able to show you that that cut in the comb is just barely visible. Barely visible. Just barely visible. Didn't take it down much, but when it comes to fit of metal parts, understanding again, if they don't fit perfectly, they'll leak. Where there's a hole, air goes out. Between a slide and a mouthpiece, or between a slide and a comb.